Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to start with this. Pro XRP lawyer says SEC versus Ripple lawsuit wasn't staged. This comes from Bill Morgan. He says he don't agree the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit was a staged plan. But Ripple is a significant player and will be instrumental in institutional adoption of digital assets, including of XRP, if the lawsuit ever ends. Now, it might not have been fully planned out, but I think JP Morgan is pulling the strings at the SEC. The good thing is, over time, I've been doing videos. I kept taking notice. If it's not Ripple directly, it's a partner of Ripple working with JP Morgan. So maybe JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon is at the point where they say, okay, it's now time to wrap up this case. It looks like we could push forward now, because I think this was all about getting Jamie Dimon in the door. He didn't want to become irrelevant in the future in the new financial system. I think that's what this whole case is all about, really. Attorney John Deaton said the SEC XRP theory is far-fetched and that the SEC Ripple case is not supported by the law or protects investors. Now, this is a Twitter debate between lawyers and attorneys has reignited discussion surrounding Ripple's initial sales of XRP. Mark Fogel, a retired attorney specializing in SEC enforcement and securities litigation, and Johnny Deaton, a pro-crypto activist and legal representative of XRP holders, engaged in the heated debate. Now, they're talking about the sales of XRP. I'm only going to talk about the side that Johnny Deaton talked about because the way he worded this was absolutely great. Deaton sarcastically notes that the SEC's XRP theory is far-fetched and travels through space and time into the future, capturing all possible future sales, even in faraway lands. He believes that Fogel and other smart and capable former SEC enforcement lawyers can credibly argue that at some point Ripple violated Section 5 of the Securities Act. However, he says they cannot credibly argue that the SEC's theory in the Ripple case is supported by the law or protects investors. And you couldn't tell what was going to happen in the future around XRP sales. And we know the SEC is not protecting me or you. If anything, they're holding us back from our financial freedom that's to come from our XRP holdings in the future. XRP lawyer confident of public interest considered by Judge Annalise Torres. So we see that he's confident on the community's strength. John Deaton, the attorney representing XRP token holders in the SEC lawsuit, expressed confidence that the community support will work in favor of Judge Torres' decision. He made the comment in context of speculation on Coinbase listing XRP and Ripple's XRP ledger using the token. So he's saying that all the support we're showing can sway the judge to rule in favor of Ripple. And think about it. She's out there making a decision on behalf of all of us. And, we want that decision to come very quick. We want it now. I hate the way that they're delaying this case even any further. And I absolutely hate talking about this case, but I want to point out any news that comes out around it or what the lawyers are saying. That's why I talk about it in my videos. So SEC investigates First Republic Bank executives for potential insider trading. Well, why doesn't the SEC go and talk to all these politicians that are also insider trading? These people come to Washington with no money and leave with millions of dollars. It's not hard to see what's really going on. But let's continue with the banks. So 722 banks that form an internal Fed report on how many banks their rate hikes had destroyed. Now, think about that. 722 banks have unrealized losses exceeding 50% of capital. They are in need of liquidity. Where can they get that liquidity? XRP. That's why I always said, by this case continuing, it's hurting the banks. It's hurting us as XRP holders. If Ripple won right now, these banks would get ignited. They would be so fired up because all of a sudden they can bring in all the liquidity they need through XRP. Now you got to take a listen to this. This is talking about de-dollarization.
Japan holds $1.2 trillion, the largest U.S. debt, and a growing number of countries seem to be moving away from the use of the dollar. Is there an understanding of this, of a concern for that? As the world reserve currency is really a big part of why the U.S. is able to exert its leadership. Is there understanding of the fact that countries are beginning to turn away from the use of the dollar and some way to resolve that?
Well, I'd have to let Japan speak to their economic policy. The
number of countries that are beginning to denominate in dollars away from the U.S. dollar.
I'm going to have to take your question, sir. I don't have a good answer for you today.
Yes,
He doesn't have an answer on more and more countries pulling away from the U.S. dollar. I'll tell you why they're pulling away. We weaponized it against too many countries, and everybody took notice. On top of that, this country's bankrupt. We just continue to print more money as we need it. And other countries take notice to that as well. They look at a time right now where this country can easily be de-dollarized because we have such weak, people in Washington at the same time. Our country is getting weaker and weaker as time goes on. But history repeats itself. This week in financial history, 1933, a pivotal move to devalue the U.S. dollar. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's decision to take the U.S. off the gold standard and devalue the dollar was a major turning point in the country's financial history. And that's where we are again right now. We have all these countries coming for the U.S. dollar. Nobody's really talking about it. Nobody really understands it. Or they understand it and they don't care. And at the same time, they just keep raising everything. Inflation continues to rise. You know who's paying for all of this? Me and you. Now we're going to talk about remittances. Take a listen to this.
Ledger technologies within and outside of financial services. For the sake of this panel, I think we're focusing more on payments. So stable coins, for instance, when properly managed and collateralized, and by properly I mean one-to-one, against a stable, ideally fiat asset, have shown their ability to provide real benefits, especially when it comes to cross-border payments, for instance. The FSB's 4 goals for improvements for targets for improvements on cross-border payments are cost, speed, access, and transparency. And stablecoins have shown their ability to deliver benefits on all 4 of these, especially the transparency bit, to your point earlier. I think cross-border payments are, nobody talks enough about their importance in the global economy. Like 15 to 20% of e-commerce is already global. And that's one use case of just retail payments. Cross-border payments can be categorized in a wholesale, retail, and remittances. And remittances are often not included under retail. But even remittances alone are a $589 billion global market that has been dominated by mostly traditional financial services providers. And there has been a lot of innovation in the fintech industry as well. But stablecoins and blockchain in general have been able to improve the speed and costs of many of these transactions, with stablecoins offering the added benefit of stability of value when proper.
I thought that was absolutely great. She said nobody really talks about the importance of cross-border payments. And look at that, $589 billion global market. It's so ironic that it's 589 as well. But nobody talks about that. And as we see the dollar losing value and we see the banks falling apart, you know what the greatest part of it is? We hold the one asset that can fix all of this. We hold XRP. That is what is absolutely great about being an XRP holder. Then we could take a look at how Ripple continues pushing forward throughout the rest of the world. Uniteller, a Ripple partner, has opened remittances in the Philippines via local lender Security Bank Corp. Immigrants in the U.S. will be able to send money to the Philippines within a matter of minutes via direct account deposit, banking the unbanked as well. Then there's Ripple in the SEPA zone countries. A natural extension in real-time payments value chain is International Remittance, SCT, Institute, a real-time credit payment service in Europe, is already implementing this service in the 34 single euro payments area zone countries. Ripple, a technology partner, is offering international remittance through a decentralized payment network. The ISO 222 standard, which is being adopted in most real-time payment systems, can assist in international remittances. And that's why I said before, we see Ripple partnering up, laying all that pipework all throughout the world for XRP to flow through. Bank of Pakistan, an industry first, the bank has integrated in its remittance payment system with RippleNet, Ripple's global blockchain payments network, to offer a faster and more secure payment service to remittance customers. And this goes on and on and on almost on a daily basis. Ripple is opening up more corridors. Ripple ISO 222 membership allows customers to reap the benefits of XRP and blockchain transactions for faster processing cross-border payments via a standardized. XRP is the new financial system, and that's what you are holding. Think about that. And yet people don't understand that XRP is going to soar to massive numbers in the future. It's moving all of that money on a daily basis. It cannot be sitting at a low price. That's what it comes down to. You know, that's why you should be so fired up and excited about this, about what you hold. That's why I'm always stressing to you, you have to keep your crypto safe. You have to keep your crypto safe because I know the importance of it. And I don't want to see any of you miss out on what's to come. I think this is going to be one of the greatest times that any of us are ever going to experience again in our lives. This is going to be absolutely incredible. And you know, I don't care what anybody has to say about market cap and previous cycles. I got rid of that whole idea a long time ago. When the whole world is talking about a cryptocurrency moving money around the way that XRP is going to be utilized in the future, you need to wake up. Market cap and previous cycles are not going to matter. This crypto is going to hit some very high numbers. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.